Hello, my friends. I need to talk tonight about the proposed merger of Canada and United States by President Donald Trump. Um, First of all, I want to start with Canadian leaders. Um, I'm 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 disappointed the way they negotiated with Trump. It was absolutely shameful. First of all. Um, what they did was they showed panic to begin with, okay? And anyone who has worked in emergency preparedness knows that the first lesson in preparedness is don't panic, stay calm. Panic causes more panic, and then um, our reasoning becomes compromised. So we panicked, and our Prime Minister Justin Trudeau went to Mar-a-Lago, talked to. Do you know what that did? Trump is someone who enjoys attention. So he gave him that attention. We showed that we're weak, and and worse. Okay, you don't give something to the person you're negotiating with before you sit down and talk. So we gave into the demand of President Trump about the border. So we invested in over $1 billion. We said we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. The problem with that is that Trump, I mean, Trump talked about the border as as an excuse. Now we gave into his demand to do something about the border. Now he's moving the goalposts. He's saying no. It's also about we pay you money, or there's trade surplus or whatever, right? So I will give an F, failure to negotiate the liberal government. Stop the panic. The other thing is that show a united front. Okay, it's too sad that the Premier of Alberta, Daniel Smith, tried to negotiate on the side instead of showing strength and unity. So that is something we have failed. Now, having said that, why do I agree with the merger of the United States and Canada? So Canada will lose quite a lot of things if we merge with the United States, and so we now don't have that shootings every now and then happens. We don't have gun violence. We have health care that doesn't exist there. We're even more democratic than the United States. U.S. politics is corrupt. The lobbies dictate what people in Congress talk about it, which agenda. Okay, there are times when the first agenda in Congress has nothing to do even with the United States, nothing to do with the people in the United States. It has to do with another country. Okay, so whoever pays more gets his agenda put on. So we don't have that, so we lose quite a lot in that sense. What will we gain? Okay, so our negotiation is that Canada is a very rich country in terms of resources. Therefore, if we're gonna unite with the United States, which has, like, I don't know, 35 trillion with T, $35 trillion in debt, then we need to be compensated for the wealth and resources we have. So for example, we have 20% of the world's fresh water. Okay, third largest proven oil reserve, timber, all kinds of minerals. Right, second largest country. Not to mention the good reputation will bring to Americans. You can Google it if you want it. Canada always is at the top of the most admired countries. United States is not. Okay, that's why sometimes U.S. travelers carry a backpack with the Canadian flag so that they say we are not Americans, we're Canadians. That's true. The other thing is that Trump is forgetting that how much Canada has done for the United States. Okay, and there's a lot there's a lot the United States can learn from Canada. Number one, when September 11 happened, okay, a small town called Gander in Newfoundland hosted Americans and everyone else. Okay, free of charge. We did everything. George W. Bush didn't even mention Canada about that when he talked. He thanked other countries. We died, our soldiers died, about 156 or 160 died of our soldiers and one diplomat in Afghanistan. Okay. We fought with you in Korea. Okay. And we sell you our oil at a discounted price. So, there are times, even though we Canadians don't brag, we don't say this and that and that and that. We're said to be polite and kind of. There are times when we have to tell the truth to American friends. What I suggest is that Canada's wealth or resources are estimated to be around 34 trillion with T, up to 41, 42 trillion, okay, give and take. So let's assume, for the sake of argument, that it's $41 trillion resources Canada has, okay? So what the United States will have to do is pay us $41 trillion. You can do that. You're America. You can print the money. That's a whole different subject. But that will, $41 trillion divided by 41 million people in Canada will be, each person will get $1 million. That doesn't mean each person gets $1 million, though. This has to be distributed in a way that makes sense. So, for example, if you moved to Canada last year, you're not getting the same as someone who has lived all his life, worked, and retired. If you are a baby, you're not the same as someone 40 years old who's a bricklayer or working in construction. So that will be kind of done. Even if you take the lower number, which is about $34 trillion, if you divide that by 41 million Canadians, that'll be about 800 and something thousand dollars, right? That, I don't think any Canadian will oppose to that. And even though it sounds like a lot of money, trust me, it's worth, and the United States can afford it because of the resources Canada has. The other thing is that the United States has to respect. I'm talking about the elephant in the room now, Quebec City, the province of Quebec, which is French speaking. French. We have bilingualism here, so the French people have to be able to be respected and exercise and live the way they live, their culture, everything. And we don't have guns here, like we have strict gun control. We have healthcare system. Those things have to remain the way they are here, right? And maybe hopefully give all Americans to universal healthcare, right? So my counter proposal to the United States is that, sure, we'll join you together. We'll make a great continent. Probably we'll have everything we need, from agriculture to manufacturing to water to energy, everything, right? However, it takes two to tango. If we're gonna give you all that, you have to allow us. We have to say we got this back. If you're gonna abandon a lot and join you, just pay us that amount of money. We'll join. We'll be together, and respect also. We want the French Canadians to be respected and have their own language and culture. We care about our healthcare system. It's not perfect, I can tell you that. And sometimes I wonder if it would be good to have a parallel system where we have private system. But that's a whole different topic, and that's emotional topic. I don't want to talk about it now. And in addition to Americans, do you know what, Canada, when you Google and which are the most respected or admired countries in the world, Canada is on the top usually. Canada, there was time in 7 years in a row, Canada was nominated to be the best country to live. So you get a lot back too. So, hey, welcome. What do you think about my proposal? Let me know. And thank you. I love you. Give me an idea and click like. Thanks. Bye.